Welcome to the Smart Weight Loss Coaching Podcast. I'm Dr. Lisa Oldson, a board-certified weight loss medicine specialist and certified life coach. In this podcast, I'll share fresh insights and effective techniques for incorporating mindset, habit change, and proven science into your life. Are you ready to achieve sustainable weight loss, wellness, and longevity? Then let's jump in and lose weight the smart way. Welcome back. The scale is a liar. Not on purpose, but it lies to you all the time. Here's what I mean. You start eating better, you start moving more, you start doing everything right. And then you step on the scale and it hasn't budged. Or worse, it's gone up a pound. If you're only measuring your progress by that number, you're setting yourself up to feel like a failure, even when you're succeeding. The changes you make today, the walk you took, the vegetables you added, the sleep you prioritized, may not show up on the scale for weeks or even months. Your body needs time to catch up to your effort. Looking to the scale for your reward is a fool's errand because the scale is almost always the last thing to change, not the first. And this isn't just true for weight loss. Anytime you're working toward a goal, whether it's running a race, saving money, learning an instrument, or building a business, the results almost always lag behind the effort. Psychologist Karl Weick wrote about this back in the 1980s. He found that when a goal feels too big and too far away, our brains struggle to process it. He called this dysfunctional arousal. The goal becomes so overwhelming that instead of motivating us, it does the opposite. It stalls us out or makes us give up entirely. Weick's solution was what he called small wins. Instead of fixating on the giant distant outcome, you break it down into pieces you can actually see and feel along the way. Researchers Teresa Amabile from Harvard and Kramer picked up on this idea decades later in their book, The Progress Principle. They studied what actually makes people feel motivated and engaged day to day, and what they found was surprisingly simple. It wasn't the big breakthroughs, it was small, visible signs of forward movement. Even minor progress, noticed and acknowledged, had an outsized effect on how people felt and how hard they kept working. In other words, your brain needs evidence that something is happening. If the scale is the only evidence you're looking for, and it's slow to cooperate, which it usually is, you're starving your own motivation. So, if the scale isn't going to reward you, what will? This is where non-scale victories come in. A non-scale victory, or NSV, is any sign of progress that has nothing to do with the number on your scale. And once you start looking for these NSVs, you'll find they're everywhere. I'd like to share some real examples from one of my clients collected over the course of about a year. She ordered a new pair of shorts in a smaller size, and they fit perfectly. She went dress shopping for a wedding and found herself in a size 12, down from her largest size, which was an 18. She needed new jeans because her old ones were too big. Her shoe size got smaller. Her energy improved. She stopped dreading getting up in the morning. She accepted an invitation for a weekend trip with college friends that she would have previously declined because she used to be embarrassed about how much weight she had gained since they last saw her. Also, her knees and back stopped hurting, something she had dealt with for years, and she started wearing makeup again, which she previously felt was pointless because she didn't feel good enough about her appearance to even try. And a big one, she was becoming more comfortable being in pictures with friends and family. Think about that list again. While it's true that some of these NSVs are about clothing size or her appearance, the rest are about how she feels. More energy, less dread, more willingness to be seen. That's not a small thing. It's a life-changing shift in her confidence and her willingness to participate in life. I really want you to start your own list. Write down every non-scale victory you notice, no matter how small it seems. clothes fitting differently, climbing a flight of stairs without getting winded, sleeping through the night, choosing water over soda without even thinking about it, feeling proud of yourself in a photo, or just being willing to be in a group photo. All of it counts. Every single one is a small win, and small wins are what actually keep you going. Before we dive into a different but related topic about glimmer lists, let's take a quick break and hear a word from our sponsor. Ha! Just kidding. It's still me, Dr. Lisa Oldson, physician and founder of Smart Weight Loss Coaching and the new Weight Loss Strategy Lab. At Weight Loss Strategy Lab, we teach, experiment, reflect, and explore the latest science around weight loss, longevity, habit change, and health. I bring all of this to my live weekly strategy sessions on Zoom alongside our signature courses that you can access at your convenience within the program. The biggest shift is in mindset. In the Strategy Lab, we approach weight loss like scientists, not like judges. When you get off track, and we all do, there's no judgment. Instead, we help you dissect what happened, find the learning, and create a better hypothesis for next time. You can still find the Weight Loss Strategy Lab men's and women's programs at our original site, smartweightlosscoaching.com. And we're back. Let's talk about a related idea, one that isn't about your body, but rather about how you talk to yourself. I've used a version of this practice with my clients for years, but I'd like to give credit where it's due. Dr. David Mann, a wonderful dermatologist who's working to transform the field of medicine with his unique approach to training the next generation of doctors, is the one who coined a fantastic term that has stuck in my mind since the moment I first heard it. Let me introduce you to glimmer notes or glimmer lists. Here's how it works. Throughout your day or your week, people may say kind things to you. A compliment from your boss, something sweet your spouse says, a stranger in line at the grocery store who notices something about you. Most of us hear these compliments, feel good for no more than 5 seconds, and let them evaporate. We don't hold on to these glimmering compliments. But here's the problem. While we let the good stuff evaporate, we hold on to the bad stuff like it's glued to us. There's actually a name for this in psychology: negativity bias. In 2001, researcher Roy Baumeister and his colleagues published a now famous review called Bad is Stronger Than Good. They looked across decades of research on memory, relationships, feedback, even self-image, and found the same pattern everywhere. Negative experiences are more powerful, more memorable, and longer lasting than equally sized positive ones. One critical comment can outweigh a litany of compliments. One awkward moment can overshadow an otherwise wonderful day. Relationship researchers Julie Schwartz-Gottman and John Gottman found something similar when they studied marriages. They discovered that stable, happy couples needed roughly 5 positive interactions to balance out just 1 negative one. 5 to 1. That's how much more weight a single criticism carries compared to a single compliment. If that's true in relationships with other people, I promise you it's true in your relationship with yourself. The unkind thought you have about your body in the mirror, the one comment about your weight you heard years ago that you still remember word for word. That's negativity bias at work, and left unchecked, these negative thoughts will always drown out the positive. This is exactly why glimmer lists matter. You're not naturally wired to remember the kind things people say about you or to you. You have to work against your own brain to hold on to them, which means you need a system. Not willpower, not a better memory, or simply trying to think more positively. An actual physical record you can return to. So the practice is simple. Anytime someone says something kind to you, write it down. That's it. You start a running list on your phone, in a notebook, wherever it works for you. This is what Dr. Mann does with his students, which I just love. And then on the days when you're feeling low, when your confidence is shaky, when the negativity bias is doing what it does best, you pull out that list and you read through it. With this system, you're deliberately feeding your brain evidence it wouldn't hold on to on its own. I asked some of my clients to share glimmer notes they've collected recently, and I'd like to read you a handful of them because I think you'll recognize how ordinary and yet how powerful these are at the same time. Here we go. You're very feminine. You have pretty skin. I love your sense of fashion. How did you figure that out? Which is certainly a compliment embedded in a question, right? I'm envious of your strong calves. You're so good with children. I'm impressed that you know how to do that. You're so smart. You're great at asking questions and getting past the small talk. I'm impressed that you manage to walk every day when you have 3 kids and a full-time job. Your mom is lucky to have such a devoted daughter. You're so funny. It's crazy that you're such an accomplished violin player and you still practice all the time. Your hair looks fantastic. I like your new color. You're such a good friend. I really appreciate the way you always show up for me. None of these compliments came from a scale. None of them ever will come from a scale. They came from people who see you, the whole you, and not just a number. And these compliments are worth holding on to on purpose to protect yourself against a brain that would rather remember the one critical thing someone said in 2014 than the nice thing someone said about you this morning. So here's what I want you to do this week for your NBA, your next best action. I want you to start 2 lists. One for your non-scale victories, the small visible proof that your work is paying off even when the scale is slow to admit it. And a second one for your glimmer list, the deliberate written proof that you are seen, valued, and appreciated exactly as you are right now in this moment, not at some future size or weight. The scale will catch up eventually. When you keep showing up and practicing your healthy habits, it always does. But you don't have to wait for it, and you don't have to rely on a brain that's wired to forget the good stuff, to feel proud of the progress you're making and the person you already are. You've got this. Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like more support during your smart weight loss journey, check out our group coaching program at smartweightlosscoaching.com. Until next time, stay well and stay smart.